This document is called Promise to Provide Agreement, or we also call it a PTP. Now, the purpose of this document is to give the customer a detailed description of any missing information or missing documents that are essential for the application. So it gives us an opportunity to give the customer the information that they're going to need to provide. And it's important to advise the customer that the information needs to be provided within 3 to 5 days. Now, some of the information that's missing is going to be requested by the insurance company, and this information will allow the customer to keep and maintain the options that we gave them. So I'll give you an example. If we process an application with a marriage discount, the insurance company is going to require proof of marriage or proof of residency. If the proof of residency is not submitted, the insurance company is going to remove the marriage discount and the payments will go up. So it's very important to educate the client, to advise them of the information that's missing, and to elaborate on the fact that it's mandatory for them to drop it off. So every section, as you can see, we'll review the main categories of the sections. The customer needs to initial all the missing information or whatever information they need to provide, and then they're going to sign it and date it. So let's review a bit of information. So it says proof of marriage, such as the marriage license, the certificate, utility bills, bank statement, medical bills, a lease agreement, a notarized letter stating that the driver lives in the same address. And everything needs to be current. So those documents need to be current and they need to be dated within the last 2 months. If a customer provides a utility bill from 12 months ago, you would advise the customer that the bill will not be acceptable. The company will reject the bill, especially because it's a very old bill. Now, if the customer needs to provide any type of proof of marriage or proof of residency, the customer will initial and they will sign it and date it. Now, the second section is valid and current U.S. driver's license for all drivers. Now, have them initial it. They're going to initial the box and just type the name of the driver. Now, the policy may consist of 4, 3, or even more drivers. So just write the name of the customer that we're requesting the actual copy of the license. There's a lot of policies that are processed as a rewrite. Technically, they've had a policy with us before. They may not have all the paperwork with them at the moment that we rewrote them. So we're going to PTP for valid registration. We're going to PTP for valid IDs, valid license. Now the third one, it says valid and current foreign driver's license. So any customer that has a matricula or a passport from a different country, always have them initial here. Valid registration, once again, if we don't have the registration or if we don't have a valid registration, just have them initial and then just write the year, make, and model of the car. If it's multiple cars, then just put the year and the make and model of all the cars that we still require the valid registration. Now, checking account, saving, or credit card number, definitely within 24 hours. So if the customer did not have an actual bill, but they had the information, then have them initial the box and just advise them that they need to provide proof of the account. The companies want to make sure that they're deducting the payment from the right account. Proof of garaging. Now, proof of garaging, this applies for any client that's using an address that's not on their documents. So for instance, if a customer is insuring a car and the registration and the driver's license currently have a Los Angeles address, but they're using a Palmdale address. Now, the insurance companies are most likely going to require proof of garaging because they want to confirm that the customer actually lives or that the vehicle is being garaged in Palmdale. So therefore, you're going to have them initial, and you're going to advise the customer that they need to provide proof of garaging, any utility bills, electricity, water bill, mortgage statement, rental lease agreement, and also it has to be within the 2 to 3 months as far as the date. If it's an old bill, the company won't accept it. Also, proof of not at fault. Now, if the client has violations on their record, and one of the violations is an accident, even if it shows not at fault, always PTP for proof of not at fault. There's a few companies that are actually going to require proof that the accident was not the customer's fault. So educate the client, let them know that we are probably going to require some sort of proof of not at fault, and have them initially. Now, the name and address of the finance company. Now, the bottom part is technically for the lien holder information. So if the customer requires comp and collision and the customer does not have any documents, or they just purchased a vehicle and they're not 100% sure who the lien holder is going to be, have them initial this bottom section indicating that they're going to provide us with the right information for the finance company. So once again, this is a PTP. Any missing information, any documents that the customer is going to need to provide in the future, you're going to have to complete this PTP, have them initial the sections of the information that we need, have them sign it and date it. Always emphasize that we need it within 3 days, 3 to 5 days. Now, you're also going to use this document if you're processing an endorsement, adding a vehicle, adding a driver, and the information it may not be valid. So for example, if a customer is adding a vehicle and they don't have the registration, they have some sort of document like a bill of sale or maybe the title or the pink slip, you're still going to PTP for the registration. So this document, you're either going to use it for endorsements or you're going to use it for new business applications. Once again, is a PTP. It's an acknowledgement of any information that they need to provide.